Hey there everyone, it's Ravindra here back with another video. In this video, we are going to learn how we can handle errors globally. If you find this video helpful, then please hit that like button. It really encourages me to create more content. If you haven't subscribed this channel, you can also subscribe it. So let's get started. If we look at this code, we are using here more traditional approach, which is a try catch. And here in the try block, we have written these statements: a equals to 5, c equals to a by 0. And here in this line, it will throw our divide by 0 error. That exception will be logged here, and I am using Serilog. So if you are interested in Serilog, I will put down the link in the description box. Let's see how we can remove this try catch block and handle this error globally. For that, we need to create the custom exception middleware. But before that, let's run this code and let's see what is happening here. So if I execute this code here, this endpoint here we will see that we are getting 500 in response, and in the document body we are getting this. We are getting type, title, status, trace ID. And if we look here, that here we are getting this error message in the console because we are using a Serilog here to logging our error. So we can see here the error is attempt to divide by 0. It is type of error, and it is coming in Serilog demo.controller.personController. Action name is personController.get, etc, etc. Okay, so let's close it for now and let's go back to the Visual Studio. So first thing we need here, we will create here a model folder because we will return a strongly typed message. For that, we need to create a class. So just type here models, and inside that we will create a class. So that class will be error response.cs. Inside that we need to create two properties. So type here prop double tap. First thing will be status code. Okay, second thing will be a string, and it will return message. Very good. Now we will override toString method here. So type here public string override. I guess it will be public override string toString. That's it. And here we are not gonna return this. We will return this dot, sorry. So we are gonna use here JSON serializer. Okay, and it has added this statement here using system.text.json, and we will serialize whatever it will get from this object. Okay, now we are done here. So let's create a folder here and name it that folder middlewares. We will create here our middleware. So okay, let's rename it once more. So now here we will create a middleware. So just create new class here and name it exception middleware. That's it. Okay, so we are gonna inherit here I middleware. Okay, now we will type here constructor so that we can inject something to it. Now what we are going to inject here, we are going to inject our logger here. So type here, okay, let's not type here, just type here hi logger. That's it. Inside that we will pass the name of this class, which is exception middleware. Okay, just type here logger, and here we'll type this control dot dot, and here we will find this option create and assign field logger, and it will create this field for us and assign this field for us, but we are going to change its name so that we can distinguish these two. Okay, so right now if we look here, it is yelling at me, so I will click here, so potential risk, sorry, potential, what it is saying, whatever it is. So I will just press here control dot and I will implement interface. So it has implemented this method for me. That's very good. Now here we will just type a try catch block. Okay, so type here try and double tap. That's good. And here we will type exception. That also good. Here we will just type next, and so here we have to write await next, and inside that we will pass this context. That is good. Now what will happen if we go here in the catch block? So we will log our error here, so just gonna type here logger dot log error, and here we will type something went wrong, so just type here something went wrong. Okay, now here we will write some more code. So now here we are going to create a private method, so just type here private static, and it will be a task handle exception. That's good. It will take http context, and one more thing, it will take exception from us. Okay, now what we will do here, we will get a status code. So status code equals to int status codes, what it is, http status, sorry, I think it is http status code dot internal server error. So why, so let me see, http status code. Okay, so I had to add this line here, system.net. Okay, so here we are getting status code which will be 500, so it will give us a value of 500. That's pretty good. So now what we will do here, so what was our model? Here we will create the object of error response. So just type here where error response equals to new error response. Okay, status code equals to status code, that's fine. Message equals to ex.message. now we need to pass this error response to here return return context dot write context dot response dot write async, and here we will write error response dot toString. Okay, but before that we need to do one more thing. Here we have to set the context type. So here we will set context dot response dot content type equals to application/json. That's, and here we also need to pass status code. Yeah, it is giving me right suggestions. Okay, so we are good now. So let's call this method here. So just call here await handle exception and pass this context, then pass this an exception. Okay, we are good so far. So now let's create one more class here. We are going to create an extension method for this middleware. So here we are going to create the extension method, and extension method need a static class. So just name it exception middleware extension. Okay, so let me format this guy. Public static, and it is a class, that's why it is yelling. Okay, we are good now. So here we will create a method. So just name it public void. So it will also be static. So here we will type public static void configure exception middleware, and this name makes more sense. Here we will pass I application builder app. Good. And here we will just call app dot middleware, use middleware, and inside this what we will pass this name. Okay, so we are good so far. So what we need to do here, we need to go in the program.cs file. So first we need to inject this. Okay, actually why I am here. Okay, so here in the program.cs file we need to inject this service. So how we can inject it? So we can simply inject it here, builder dot add transient, builder dot services dot add transient, and here we will pass this class name exception middleware. Now we have injected this service. Now we need to call our middleware. So we will call here app.configure, and what it was, app.configure exception middleware. So just paste it here, and if we press control dot, okay, so it is fine, we do not need to press control dot. Configure exception middleware. So calling just right here exception middleware. Okay, so it looks fine. So let's go here and let's comment this guy and copy these 3 lines here and comment these 3 lines. Okay, so we are removing try catch block from here. So let's run this program. So here we can call this endpoint. So let's try it out and let's execute it, and our code will break here. That I do not like about this global exception handler. If I have put here the try catch block, it will not break down. Anyway, so let's move further. Let's click on the continue, and here we can see that we are getting 500. and we are getting this status code 500 attempt divide by 0. So let's go here in our exception middleware and let's see is it even working or not. Okay, so if I click here and let's run this guy again. So here we can see we moved here and here, and here our code will break. That's it, and we are getting this status code 500. Okay, attempt to divide by 0. So it is how our global error handling works with custom middleware or custom exception middleware. But here is a situation that in every situation we will get this status code 500. What if I want 400 or I want 401? These type of 404 not found method. So 404 not found status code. So how I can get those status messages here, this status codes here? So we need to refactor our code a little bit so that we can also get some other kind of status code here. So let's close it for now and let's go here. But before that we need to create our custom exceptions also, because we do not have http not found exception and we do not also have bad request exception. So we have to create these exception manually. So here let's create another folder and let's name it exceptions. And inside this we will create a class and let's name it not found exception. So not found exception .cs. Okay, so let's inherit an exception here, and here we will just call a constructor. Okay, and here it will be a parameterized constructor and it will get a message, and we will call a base constructor here and pass that message here. So that's it. That is more simple. So let's create another exception and let's name it what we need. One is not found exception and another one is bad request exception. And here it is yelling at me, so I have done a spelling mistake here. So now we are good. We have created two exceptions here, not found exception and bad request exception. Okay, so what now? Let's move here in the exception middleware. Let's put breakpoint here. Now we will use a switch statement, switch exception, switch ex, and here we will write some case http, sorry, what was that? Let's see, not found exception. Okay, so here we will type not found exception, and inside that just write here break. And what we will do here, we will reinitialize it, and or we will change its value here. So let's paste it here, and here we will simply type int http status code dot something like this 404, what it is, not found, yeah, not found. Let's copy it also here, and here we will use bad request exception. Fair enough. Now here we will bad request. Okay, so that's it. But we can also use another approach here, because here we have to use this typecasting. So we have another class here which is status codes, and we can type here 500 something like that. Let's see what it is. Status codes dot internal status 500 internal server error. Okay, and here we will also type status codes status codes dot not found, and here we will also write status code dot bad request. Now here we will use another case, and it will be divide by zero exception, and we do not have to create this exception because it's inbuilt one. So just type here status codes, the same one, status 400 bad request. So you can see we can handle exceptions on the basis of status codes. And here you can define some more, you can define some more exceptions according to need. Okay, so let's see, let's call these things. So let's move to our controller, and here I have this method which I have created earlier, and we can see we have to refactor it. So just type here control dot, and it will add this line here. That's fine. So what we are doing here, we are creating a get method which is accepting an ID, and we are checking if ID equals to 1, and here we are creating or simulating a divide by zero error, and in this case we are simulating the record not found or 404 not found exception, and in else case we are simulating the bad request, and if anything of these will not happen, we will simply return OK. So let's run this. Here we have this method, and let's try it out, and let's pass 1 here. So what is defined here, if we pass 1 then we will reach to this section. So let's pass 1. Okay, so here we have got this error, attempted to divide by 0. Let's continue, and we will go here. Let's move ahead. So we are getting in this case which is status code, sorry, which is divide by 0 section, and let's move ahead. That's fine. Let's continue, and let's see what we are getting here. So we are getting 400, response status is 400, and response body is this status code 400 attempted to divide by 0. Okay, so let's pass here 2. If we pass 2 here, and let's move ahead, so let's see where it will go. So it has gone here because it's a not found exception, and here we will see that we are getting this status code 404, record does not found. Okay, good. So we have got this 404 status code. Let's type here anything else. Let's type here 4, and here we will go into this section, bad request exception, and here we can see this 400 bad request, and we are getting the message bad request status code. So that is it. But when we click on this execute button, our code breaks here, and I don't like this. But if we have deployed this thing in a server, then code will not break. Okay, anyway, it is what it is. So you can see it is how we can implement global error handling in ASP.NET Core web APIs. So that's it for now. I will see you next time.